Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor Duran, and I'm going to be talking a little bit with Brett Johnson. He's the Solutions Executive for Drum Associates. So, Brett, how long have you been working for Drum?
Well, nice to meet you, Taylor. First time virtually meeting. I know we've been over email, but I've been here for about 7 months now. It's been a very strange 7 months. Started during the beginning of the pandemic during quarantine, but pretty much since the end of April.
Awesome. And what made you join Drum?
A lot of factors did. I was definitely looking to kind of capitalize on my skill set in areas I knew that I'd be successful at in terms of talent strategy and resourcing strategy, but wanted this overall independence to really help drive new initiatives, new ways of thinking, and ultimately to work with someone like Matt, who I've been successful with in the past, and just really try to have a more unique way of going about something I'm pretty passionate about.
Mhm. Awesome. And what's something that you can share that people wouldn't normally know about you, like a personal fact?
I was thinking about this. I got two things. So
Okay.
I live in Connecticut, but I'm a huge Bruce Springsteen fan. I've seen Bruce Springsteen 10 times in concert, and I actually met him once on Broadway. But also, my real last name is actually Jankowski, which I figured
Oh,
out
wow.
only about a year ago. My
Wow.
name was James Johnson, which is very, very cool, but I did not know that until about a year ago. So going back in the family heritage, I kind of learned about that, which is crazy.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
So, with the change in work environment, how has it affected day-to-day work life and client partnerships for you?
Yeah, it's been very interesting. I talk about this a lot with our office, but I do think we've actually overly communicated throughout this pandemic. It's been a lot more structured communication too. There's not a lot of ad hoc coaching. We're able to
Mhm.
really focus on what we're doing currently and then have offline conversations a lot more efficiently. Where being in the office, someone may come to your desk and you kind of have to shift your focus and reprioritize what you're doing. Now I
Mhm.
feel like we're able to really articulate what our thoughts are and able to give each other enough time to process it and move forward. In terms of our client partnerships, I do kind of really parlay that a lot, what we're doing internally to externally. A lot of companies are still figuring out exactly what needs to be done, how to prioritize hiring, consulting, a lot of their strategy. It's on
Mhm.
us to really communicate that clearly, effectively, and make sure we're continuing to follow up because all we have is conversations like this remotely. And I think that's going to be the new norm for the foreseeable future. So definitely
Mhm.
overly communicative is the way I would really describe how to be effective during this time.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
What is one mistake you think companies make when picking strategic partners?
I think a lot of companies solely look at partners very much from a one-off standpoint when it comes to
Mhm.
cost. I think a lot of companies view partners that can really fill voids for them and try to almost put a band-aid over what an issue is instead of actually addressing it.
Mhm.
What I'm really passionate about that Drum does specifically is that we take a more holistic end-to-end kind of consultative look at what our partners are doing and try to create a solution that's scalable, not just what the immediate way to fix something is. This
Mhm.
applies to all facets, whether it's diversity, equity, and inclusion, all the way to a lot of these more niche and strategic initiatives. It's just very important for people not to figure out what's going to solve the problem now, but how can we
Mhm.
solve the problem now and also prepare ourselves for the future? So I think companies kind of take too much of a short-term way of looking at things, specifically when it
Mhm.
comes to cost, instead of actually addressing the entire life cycle of how to fix it.
Awesome. Thank you. So you have some experience working in a traditional staffing firm and also with recruitment marketing. So what is something that excites you about selling Drum Solutions?
Yeah, I kind of answered this in the first question, and I want to
Mhm.
definitely expand upon it. It's just the ability to be creative and come up with more unique service lines and figure out ways that we can actually be considered a true partner.
Mhm.
A lot of times, companies and competitors that we usually kind of square off with offer more of a cookie cutter solution, something that's just out of the box that it's a one size fits all. I
Mhm.
really appreciated this of having the autonomy and independence to actually really take a step back and try to create a way to again, solve the issue, but just be creative with the way we're looking to actually become a true partner. What's
Mhm.
cool about it is we're not just going into a company and having the same exact pitch about what we do from a retooling and upskilling perspective. We're having more of this way to really listen first, be a partner, and then try to create a solution that's going to allow them to view us as essential, not an afterthought, which I think a lot of other staffing firms or
Mhm.
companies that deal with recruitment marketing are seen as an afterthought and more of
Mhm.
working for them rather than actually working collaboratively.
Awesome. Thank you. So when
Yeah.
do you think that clients should reach out to you?
When do I think clients should reach out to me? Wow,
Yeah.
that's a great question.
Mhm.
I think all the time, but I
Okay.
would say overall, I think clients should reach out when they're really starting to create a roadmap of where they are now and where they're trying to go. I mentioned before why I'm passionate about Drum is that when you work in the staffing capacity, you're generally only reached out to when they can't fill it internally. When they can't
Mhm.
fill a role internally, then you're seen as kind of a last ditch effort. And that mentality only just causes more headaches. You're going to a very saturated market and you're
Mhm.
not able to really customize a solution. So we want to start in more of the beginning phases of it. You know, the way Drum operates is partner, solution, impact. We want to be in the first infancy stages of the partner stage. Let's get all on the table. How can we roadmap this? Let's figure out where your common challenges are, and then kind of be strategic around that. So I think from the beginning, hopefully right when they're starting to diagnose what their issues are and create an actual
Yeah.
roadmap.
Awesome. Why should individuals apply to jobs at Drum?
Do they apply to jobs at Drum internally or externally? Or either?
Externally or either?
Externally. Oh, externally. Well, I think externally, I start with first is because
Mhm.
again, we understand that in order to be successful, we need to have an unparalleled candidate experience. A
Mhm.
lot of companies do not separate candidate experience and company experience or candidate awareness and company awareness. They're not all one and the same. I think we take a very candidate first focus in terms of not pitching them a role that we're working on because we don't want to work off the staff augmentation one-off roles. We want to talk to them about what is your skill set and let's
Mhm.
work together to figure out a way for you to actually be a part of an organization, not just a number in an organization. We want to make sure it's a perfect fit from both the client and candidate side. So this can be a long-term fit because ultimately retention is everything we kind of take pride upon. In
Mhm.
order to do that, we need to make sure it's a fit from the get-go.
Awesome. And so my last question for you would be, what excites you about the future of Drum?
Everything. Well, first off, I'm looking forward to getting in the office hopefully here soon and not working remotely out of my apartment. But what excites me the most is that we have we are just in the beginning stages of
Mhm.
really defining our solutions and our business lines. We are becoming so creative and outside the box with our approach to solving our clients' issues and our organization's issues that's
Mhm.
almost becoming organic and it's becoming very seamless. So I'm looking forward to helping refine our business lines where we can start scaling this in even
Mhm.
more drastic ways than we are now. I just feel like that there is no ceiling to what we're doing because we are in such a position for us to be successful going to next year. And even during a pandemic, as we continue to grow, it's shown us that we really are on the right path to success. And I'm just looking forward to being a part of this ride.
Awesome. And so what's the best way for someone who's watching this to contact you?
Oh, of course. We got to connect on all forms of social media, but LinkedIn,
Mhm.
follow us at Drum Associates on Instagram,
Mhm.
Drum Associates on LinkedIn. Connect with me directly, Brett Johnson. And honestly, I get my email, bjohnson at drumassociates.com. And would love to always chat about what you're looking for and see if we can be a partner either internally or externally or just collaborate on our insights.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Brett. This has been really great.
It's fun. Yes.
Yeah. And hopefully, I'm excited about Jump's future too. You got me sold. So thanks so much for sharing.
No problem. Thanks a lot, Taylor.